to it. Good morning.
Hello.
How is everyone?
Here we are. It's another Tuesday. Yes.
Yeah, we've got people, our regulars, chiming in. Let's see.
So,
who's there with us today?
Let's see. But great developments.
Yes.
Yes. So we have a big announcement to make, but we'll keep that for the end of this half hour.
Because we may have a special guest with us.
That's
today.
right. If the guest arrives, maybe the guest will make that announcement himself.
Yeah.
In the meantime, we did reach over 100 signatures.
Yeah.
Petition.
Thank you.
Hair care products. Why can salons sell professional hair care online? We were advocating for change, and a lot of people thought the same.
Yes.
Right?
I did see that we have a lot of support around us, that we
Yeah.
have even just personal support too, so it's really good. That's what happens when you're nice to people and you want something good and beneficial for them,
Yeah, I mean, we were making this change, trying to make change, because I think it's always easy to just sit back and say, it is what it is, and we're not happy with it, and I don't think that makes any sense, but it's just something that is. But no, we said no.
Yeah, it's almost like saying talk is, it's almost kind of going to like saying talk is cheap almost, rather than we're actually taking action and not just talking.
Yeah, small changes. I mean, everybody can make those changes, but we have to start. Somebody has to start.
Yeah.
Then see what happens. If no change happens, then at least you try.
Exactly.
Right?
That's right. I think a lot of people are afraid from the get-go, so being afraid of failure and self-sabotage. I mean, this happens all the time. I've seen it, we see it all the time, and sometimes we do it to our own selves, right?
Yeah.
So we've got to pick ourselves up and go forward and push if there's something out there that you think will benefit your community of people, and that's what we're about. I'm being chased by a fruit fly. I have no fruit in my coffee this morning. Is there anything else you want to talk on that? Because I just went into community, didn't I? Because that's where my heart is, so I want to get on to something else.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, with change, I kind of want to add, just like, we all expecting something and we're talking about it, but the definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over again, expecting something different. So if we keep doing the same things but keep talking about different stuff, we're just going to drive ourselves insane.
Yeah.
And we don't want to have that. We want positive.
No, especially there's always something there that you, even if you realize already that there's something there that is not right.
Yeah.
And then you almost have solutions for it.
Yeah.
And then you want to share them. And now we have a platform, right? And so that's important too. We realize we have a platform and we can engage others.
Excuse the sirens, it's New York.
Of course, it's very and hopefully we can make a change together. We also added a microphone, so I don't know if that makes it, we hope
You're
it makes
picking
it,
it up.
much better, so you can hear us better audio-wise, because we are working on a podcast eventually, so people can listen to us on the go. They don't have to,
Look at a screen.
Yeah, because some of our fans said, well, I was listening to you guys in between meetings and I couldn't hear you very well. So we went out and invested in our first little microphone today. So, to you diehard fans out there, thank you. I hope it's working for you.
Getting fancy.
Yeah, so I before we move on to community and platform, I would like to say that when there is something that directly affects you as a human, and you think you have an idea on who to talk to and how to speak to and how to approach and address a subject, and try to go to the professionals there that can help you. I think when you're putting something together, it starts from the core, right?
Yes.
And you are the essential element there because you're seeing something that can benefit people. Like the scrunchie inventor all those years ago, right? There are so many things that happen because of a happy accident or things that happen out of necessity to you. And they're like, somebody else could really benefit from this as well. So I think whenever Michael and I and any of our kids, our community, our family here, when we discover something that should be different, we try to go from that, from our inner core, and we build out. And the higher that you climb up, perhaps that's where we can see change. And sometimes you get patted on the head so hard, you get shoved off those rungs, and you go ka-ding, 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 and you're back at the bottom of the ladder. You try as many times as you can, but I think, Michael, what you said is, you try. If you don't try, you'll never know. So
and never give up.
Yeah, don't give up. We may have to remain flexible,
yes.
right? Because that's how you get to the other side. So
compromise, right? You have to be ready for a compromise.
Yeah.
Instead of just.
But again, it's better to try and hear a whole bunch of no's. That's not going to happen. We're not able to do that. But it's better to try. And when people say no, and you're going to them directly, I think it's important for you to say, if it's a no, and you've gone up that ladder, and you've gone as far as you can as an individual, or with your company, or with your community, your group, whatever it is that you're trying to get an answer to, I think when you've gone as high as you can, then someone owes you at least a why not, right? Exactly. And sometimes you just gotta call it a day at that point. And I'm a big advocate on that. Just because we commit a lot of time, even when you have the passion and the energy and the clear vision of what you want and what you're going after, sometimes it just isn't enough. And I don't want to be a downer, but on award shows and such, when you have actors who say things like, just commit to it fully, and you'll get there. And sometimes when you commit to it fully, it still just isn't enough. So I want to tell you people, if it's in your heart and it's what you desire more than anything else, trying is better than not trying. So at least you go down with passion, fire in your belly, and I still say hallelujah to all of you guys, because I'm out there too. We're dreamers, and that's the other project we're working on. So what we have going on today is discussing our platform, finding something that was necessary for us, and asking the people from starting within ourselves, each other, and branching out from that and trying to get answers. And we do have a special guest today that I'm so glad he was able to walk in. You saw sneak behind us.
Yeah, let's give him
Michael,
a minute to
situate. We're gonna have you have him sit right here.
Yeah.
Like they do on, Jimmy Kimmel when they have too many guests. No, but we want to get you down a little bit lower, so we're gonna give you this stool here. Michael's gonna hold his coffee. We're gonna put you right here in between us. There you go. Right here. Yeah. So you get your head in here. Good morning. So we are live, as you know. Yeah, we're here. So see, look, we're a little bit delayed, but we got you down into the frame a little bit, right? So there you have it. This is James from Evolve Salon Systems, and James knows this industry as well as we do, because he was also in our position in a salon. So James, go ahead, give us a quick rundown.
Well, hi guys. I'm James from Evolve Salon Systems. I've been in the industry for a long time. We'll just leave it at that. It's interesting. The industry's changed so much. I grew up in the industry. My father was a hairdresser. My uncle was my grandmother. So it's interesting to see how it's kind of evolved. No pun intended. But I'm fortunate to have worked in some amazing places and had some amazing places, and work for a company now that is really working diligently to go to the next they're seeking something completely different from what we're seeking. Evolve is an amazing company in that we are still working with hairdresser-owned brands, fighting diversion, doing everything that we can to support salons like Midoma and salon owners like Michael and Marianne. And they're fabulous employees as well.
Of course, we are.
And that being said, it's always, it's a hard struggle at times because the hairdresser-owned brands have to really put up a hard fight. It's almost like a David and Goliath kind of mentality. But we work hard to work with the salon owners. We offer things like e-commerce, which I just introduced Michael and Marianne to, which is an ability to sell product online through a small
Amazing.
That is the amazing news we wanted to share. Can we get some thumbs up from our viewers? Because
great.
we need to thank the people who, James is one of the professionals to step up from. We started the conversation. We included other people around us that are in the industry. We step up and we talk to our distributors, our product manufacturers, and James is the guy who last week said, "You guys are so right," and came back with this. So, what can you give away on that?
I mean, I think when we talked about this at first, what was important to me is that James is a hairdresser by heart. So, when we talked about this, he understood exactly, our point of view, and he realized that, I think there should be change.
Yeah, I came out of the salon that I was in a year and a half ago. We closed, and I came into a world that I wasn't aware of. I wasn't aware of all these big corporate Amazon, or Amazonian as I like to call it, platforms. So I was always the hairdresser in salon only purchase. You're a doctor in a sense that you're prescribing to your clients what they need to maintain their hair. Because my philosophy is if their hair only looks good when they leave the salon, then what's the point? Right. So it's our job to teach our clients how to use their prescription, so to speak, and purchase it from us, so that retail dollar can come back to the salon where it belongs, because we are doing the work. And to lose that retail dollar to one of the corporate giants that, don't really know the dollar to dollar, I should say, which maybe is a misspeak, but, it should come back to the salon. The salon then takes that and supports its business and supports small business, et cetera, et cetera. So, that being said, we offer a platform where the brands that we carry, for the most part, can be carried through an e-commerce site. So it's a link on Midoma's site that you go to links you over to another site that lists the products that they choose to carry. Their choices, what they want to carry, their brands, what they want to carry, and then shipping and everything is handled for them, so they can actually make the prescription, and the salon or the client can pick up what they want just while sitting in the chair and have it delivered to their home. No need to what they're seeking for when they go.
And I need to interject because again, since we've been talking about this, which is kind of like right from the first one, today's our 5th Tuesday Talks, is that it gives you absolute assurance that what you get through a salon who is dealing with a distributor like Evolve, with a person in between that handles the work and helps you set it all up like James, is that you are getting a legitimate product. It is not watered down.
Same product.
It is absolutely okay to be in this country. It's being sold in the right country. So again, we are after our people, we just want our client who lives on the Upper East Side to be able to go home and say, "Oh, poo, I am out of conditioner," and go on, and go shampoo, right? Go on our site and be able to purchase that. So that's all we want. This confidently, knowing that she's getting the real thing, right? That we would have here on the shelf for her, but she said poo and she forgot. So that's all we're after. because the sales have dropped to the point of, you click through any day and there's nothing, day after day. And I had told you guys during the first week that when I started in this industry in '92, I was told that the retail sales in-house should be paying for your receptionist. Well, I've been the receptionist because we haven't been able to afford any help. And that's okay because I love what we do. It just gives me a longer day, 7 days a week.
On top of your other things.
Because I have to do the other stuff that goes along with running the business and my other business as well, my theater stuff.
Yes.
Which I also love to do. So I just think if we have a fair, transparent way of doing that, selling to our client who forgot to buy a product, instead of having to take a picture in case she ran out at home or she would buy it online at one of those mega shops online, which is shutting down brick and mortar stores. I think this is a fabulous achievement in a very short time. So we couldn't do it without each other. We couldn't do it without our platform. We couldn't do it without being heard from our distribution and James to be our go-between there. And we couldn't do it without you guys. Everyone out there who's watching it has become a quick fan of this as a platform, an extension of our platform, and signing the petition. Thank you for sharing. It all matters. So you all did a good thing.
And I hope more is coming with Evolve through, and James, of course, that we can work together on other issues and to help that the industry is improving. We need to improve it. It's by far not where it should be.
Well, but also shout out to you guys as well, because it's salon owners now and staff that are standing up and saying, wait a minute, there has to be another way. We can't all be walking in a sheep meadow.
Yes.
Just following the way. I mean, trends are wonderful, but there was a time where we were trendsetters. There was a time where we were setting the bar, not corporations, and somewhere along the way, it became okay. I think it's just a combination of everything. With social media, millennials, well, my millennials, don't get me wrong. I think a combination of everything, so everybody kind of just took a step back and watched what was going on. Now it's time to step forward again. And
we were talking about that.
What we let occur, because we have let it occur. Yeah. And now we have the ability to create other avenues.
We were talking about that last week. We're just saying, we need to be the innovators again.
Yeah, we have great ideas. We're passionate.
I mean, yes, but like how many times you can reinvent the wheel? We've said yes. I mean, there's standard things that you just rename something. But then again, there's still a lot of things out there that we can further and discover.
Yes, of course. It's hard sometimes when you have to make sure that you can sustain yourself in New York City, especially because cost of living is extremely high here, and so you have to be on your toes, and then there's not that much time left to just be still.
Exactly.
Because what happens is when you're still, it's when these creative thoughts come to you, right? And so you need those moments, and that's why we try not to have too many distractions around us. So we still have those moments. It's hard, but when they do happen, then great things come to us, and we can work on great creative things.
Exactly.
But we will work on this, implementing, hopefully, the changes soon.
Very exciting.
Very exciting. We'll figure it out how that works. Once it is in place, we'll let you know that it is happening and that you can buy a Kevin Murphy product online through us, through Evolve, and then we can talk about it and make that known to other consumers and other manufacturers,
and other stylists. Again, I always talk to the stylists who are working in other salons. If your salon owner is too busy and they don't know about us and they're not watching, if you're not a salon owner but you are a stylist, take that back and say, hey, I think we can now do this way. So again.
Other brands, I'm sorry to
Yes,
interrupt, but
yes.
also other brands as well that you might not necessarily have one to bring a whole brand.
Exactly.
Other avenues of creativity within a bottle. I don't know the brand.
More
Right.
options, more options.
Right, because Evolve, for instance, how many different brands do you carry? 13.
13.
Lucky 13.
That's good.
So
Funny.
whoever you're working with, or if you're looking for someone else, give Evolve a shout out. Look them up, evolvesalonsystems.com, correct?
Absolutely.
evolvesalonsystems.com. Go there, check them out.
We'll put a link up again when we post about this.
Yes, absolutely.
Easy to find.
So, James, please stay.
Okay.
We have a couple of minutes here, so we'll start. We said we wanted to talk about our platform. So, funny thing happened last night while watching CNN. There's so much sadness going on, and a lot of us have watched really nothing but news for quite some time. I, however, do get the occasional Hallmark movie in, but I refuse to watch the Christmas ones until after Thanksgiving. I'm going to try to hold until after Thanksgiving. Last year I was very upset. Last year I was very upset. I watched them before Halloween because they're on now, I believe.
Yes.
Hallmark, I love you, and I love your little cast. It's like a little theater company, and that's what I love about them. Again, I am nothing if I am not speaking of community. So Hallmark, kudos to you and your company that you have working for you in those films. But last night I needed a little bit of a break, so I reached out to my good buddy who has worked here with us for over 7 years, and her name is Shakira, and she does color, and she's amazing.
She will be
amazing.
sitting here at
I told her to let us know when she wants to be a guest on the show.
She's a little shy.
But we got to talking about this and that and the other thing in our live Insta chats here on Tuesdays. And she wrote back a sentence that it was interesting because if you know Shakira, she's like my homegirl. And she wrote back, "I love Midoma. You give people who would otherwise not have a voice a platform." And my head was spinning. I was like, oh my gosh. Well said. Well said. And that touched me. And she said, then was my homegirl for real. So, thank you, Shakira, for when you watch this, when you have a minute. I know you're quite busy today. Thank you, because sometimes we're so close. We know that we are all about community here, and we know the people that come through our door, whether it's distribution or an artist or designers, stylists, colorists, our neighbors that we talked about a few last week, and there will be more to come in our future, in our old neighborhood and our new neighborhood. We are all about community, because earlier I said, when you have a thought and you feel you need to go after something, I said, not to be a downer, you can go as far as you can go, and sometimes you kind of have to cut your losses and say, well, that's as far as I can get with this. But when you have a community around you, whether you get to as far as you can and see victory, or as far as you can and see defeat, community makes it a lot less sour. When you have people around you, you believe in the same things, you're going at it for the right reasons, and you're going from the right place, then it's a fight, and you can pat yourselves on the back regardless of that end result, because although you may be getting no's now, you don't know what that could have sparked, and down the road a bit, you could have been a reason why something turned around. Can I talk about John Pierpont?
Of course. Go right ahead.
There was an author that I really enjoyed, who's Robert Fulghum, and he was quite big in the early 90s, and he was a minister, and he's got a lot of great books, and if you're my age, a little younger, a little older, his first book, I believe, that went hugely successful commercially was All I Needed to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. And it spoke to me again because it was really about how I look at things. You know, sometimes we overthink stuff, guys, and it's just simple. Be nice, be kind, speak honestly, speak directly, be a good person. Any which way you slice that, just be a good person, be open, do what you can to help people, and I think that takes you a long way.
Well, add to society, don't take away from society. That's
I know,
how I feel about that.
And most of us are good people, most of the time. We are good people, most of the time.
Our most intentions are to be that way, right?
Right. So we had, within this book, one of Robert Fulghum's book, there are several titles under his name. And one of those, they're all little short stories, which is great for someone who's as crazy as me and wears, 19 hats. In one of those short stories, it's about John Pierpont. And it talks about John Pierpont as all of these things that he tried to do, whether it was an accountant or be a politician, so a teacher, all of these things he tried to do, and he thought himself a failure. And then when he ultimately passed away, in his mind, a failure, the story comes around and it tells you that here's this man who devoted his whole life trying to do good and just not feeling successful in anything that he ever tried. I can relate. We try as creatives, right? But in the end of that, it said, and it was an awakening for me, it said, after he passed away, dying a failure, to this day, we still represent John Pierpont in something he did during his life every Christmas. He wrote Jingle Bells.
Yep.
He wrote Jingle Bells. And as simple as it is, right? For simple as it is, the sentiment, he is a huge success. So whatever you believe in, wherever we go after this life, whatever your beliefs are, I really hope he hears us. Jingle Bells is going to be loud this year, man. Right? All about community. So stick together.
Well, yeah, even if you're not going to get accolades or things towards an idea that you're doing, still try and just do it.
You don't know what you're
stamp on this world because you never know, right?
The residual effect could be enormous. Enormous.
The reactions later, you don't know what's happening. You set something in motion, right?
So,
the butterfly effect.
That's right. So it is 11:30. We did say we wanted to talk about the platform.
Yes, but also...
Let's talk about what's happening.
You mentioned 13 products, brands that evolved. Well, that's later. But what it did remind me of are 13 pieces of art that are right now on exhibition. And Thursday, what's happening on Thursday?
This coming Thursday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., a glorious 2 hours of celebrating the artwork of Vladimir Umansky and the fall fashions with a few bits returning of Paul Carroll. So everyone will be here. It's 2 hours of bliss, an artist haven. We do a little artist talk. We'll introduce the designer as well. It'll be the best $5 at the door you spend.
Yeah, I think it's a very New York moment.
Yes.
Every 5 weeks, what we're doing here, trying to keep that alive, where you can actually go see something great and then meet the artists themselves.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Meet other people, of course. Then we also open our doors so you can see the space.
Many of your past artists too come around too.
Yes,
so
I tend to do shout outs. So we have
Who's
filmmakers and TV directors and
Classic New York.
yeah.
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 It's socialite extravaganza.
But you do not need a tie.
No.
So come as you are, on the way to the gym, after work, it doesn't matter. We just want you.
enjoy.
If you're an art lover, come on in.
And what's amazing usually, and there's no exception this Thursday, if you fall in love with a piece of art, if you fall in love with something here, that night is special pricing.
On the artwork, we're getting a discount.
So art lovers will just, they just have to come.
And you can kind of see over our shoulders here how different the art is this week from the last weeks. We do try to change things up, so who knows when it'll be next time.
Yeah, on the gallery page. And
For instance, Thanksgiving Day we are closed, and the Friday after we go from 2 until closing. And Saturday we're unsure of because it's kind of like by appointment only. So feel free to call 917-432-2667. Write to us here. Send us topics you want to talk about. We'll hopefully bring you another special guest next week, and we'll let you know if there are any updates here. We've got to sign off.
Thank you, James, for coming
Thank
in
you, Evolve.
and making that announcement.
Yes.
So I guess we have to do some hair soon.
Yes.
We have to look good. It's Tuesday.
Start the week. Have a great week.
We'll see you next Tuesday.
That's right. Happy Halloween. You're going to head us off air?
Sure.
Okay.
See you next week.
Have a great day.